what kind of characters would you like to see introduced? Did I rip that off from Ash in a previous video? Yes. But fuck you, this is my video. Fuck you. Um,
Piggy is the captain now.
aye, Captain. So what kind of characters would you like to see introduced? This is obviously what characters for Reddit like to introduce. So we're probably going to get like, I want a character who sits in his basement, eats Doritos, and comes on himself. I want to see him be introduced. Because
I didn't know they were going to make a character based off of you.
you're getting
I've got
fucking.
jokes.
I'm fucking
I've
muting
got
you.
jokes.
I'm muting you for the rest of this video. Fuck you.
That's a new Giga Chad meme right there. Easy.
Um, the Giga Hash. So what kind of character? I'll quickly switch to you. What kind of character do you want to see introduced?
I mean, there's a lot of really interesting characters you could go for. One character I keep harping on for, and it's kind of one thing we both share, that it would be nice to see a trans character brought on in. Like recently in Hollyoaks, they've opted to show character now calls himself Ro Hutchinson, who's like a teenager. They're just starting to get to grips with who they are and their chosen gender. So it's been a really slow burn, but a really interesting one to have because, like, trans, despite soaps being fairly progressive, it doesn't feel like there's been the trans storylines, but they're always like, I feel like I'm born in the wrong body. So, okay, I feel like I'm a whoever you want to be, and like that's fine, and it does still serve a job, and it still educates. But I feel like a long running one would probably be a lot more interesting to see. Obviously, it's a hard thing to cast, and it's a hard thing to actually get someone to do because if you cast a trans like actor, are they gonna want to? Like, you have to show differences in the character. You have to show like a character's transformation, I guess. So it's a hard one to do. What do you reckon? What do you think about that, mate?
I personally think that it would be a good idea to introduce a trans character, but again, knowing so it's it's going to be a convoluted mess that they end up being a bank robber from the 1960s. Like Bonnie and Clyde. So I would personally go for a trans character. I would like to see the issue that really involves everyone, and that is politics. I really want to
Hmm.
see. I really want to see Rishi Sunak get into the ring of EastEnders. Fucking
I suppose it would be interesting to see it would be interesting to see how the characters like responded to elections. But the main issue is you don't want to date the show entirely, so you want to you you don't want it to be actual politics. You want to make like your own version of the politics in the show and do it. But also, people would complain a lot about that. I can't lie to you, mate. People be like, "Oh, fucking."
see, I would personally like have Shrimpy run for mayor of Walford. Have two parties. Tackle the fucking the one thing I want to see, because it's actually going to be prevalent in America, and I don't care who this offends. But the one thing I want to see tackled is someone running for something, but they've got crimes against them. Like how Trump is running in the 2024 election, but he's been
Hmm.
charged, as we found out, by 34 cases of something. I just want to see that in the show. Like, can we fall for him? Would it be bad to fall for him? He would it be bad? So.
Well, that's just me opting against Trump. Another character I'd like to see a much more openly bisexual character on the screen. I feel there's not been too much bisexual representation. It feels like it's never as fluid as bisexuality can be. It's like Piggy made the fucking joke of like Sonya's bisexual when the schedule permits. And like, yeah, sure, I'm not expecting the characters to like fucking start pumping everyone for fuck's sake, but at least someone who like just thinks that sexuality is a bit more fluid than just I like men, I like women, just I like everyone. Fucking, I think it'd be interesting to add.
Yeah, and now it's time for everyone's favourite. Let's see what these people think We just quickly switch, and yeah, here I am. What kind of characters slash characters would you like to see introduced to the show? General discussion. So anyone's allowed in here. So this is a Royal Rumble. Anyone's allowed in. Anyone can put anything in. So there might be some wild comments. While Pastor Clayton was discovered to be a total creep, very nice word, I wrote in here, I'd like a decent, honest person of religion with a high up position, if that makes sense. It feels that most religious higher up Saw's Brady Brain that are introduced are evil. It would be nice to break that mold. I also thought it would be nice for a while to see someone.
I suppose before that, I will say, as much as may not be it's definitely there's not too much religion within me, but I do think it would be important to tell. I think it'd be important to have. Like the last religious person that I personally remember on the show is Shabnam, who is like a devout Muslim and believes in the Muslim values, and even her, it would kind of get like some questionable response with whether like, oh, why she's so fucking opinionated. God, like I think, like just because I may not be religious, I think there's still very interesting stories to tell about someone's faith, and especially someone's story about faith within EastEnders. Like you're telling me. Let's say Nasty Nick was still in the show. Imagine if he found religion in a sense and tried to like. Imagine if he finally found religion with Dot's help, and then he started to kind of try and right some of the wrongs and atone for some of his sins, for lack of a better word. Like, would that not be a pretty interesting story? I think so.
My thought immediately went to wrestling. I just thought of the right to censor. Just fucking Nick changing everything to be like the right to censor. There's not like doing hair anymore. It's like giving up fucking religion verses and every shit.
But yeah, that's it. I'd like to see like EastEnders is good at educating us about stuff we may not be aware of, and I think that with the amount of religious characters that aren't, most of the religious characters are fucking pricks on the show. Lucas, priest, murderer. Pastor, a vicar, fucking like a praise on women. Like, yeah, it wouldn't hurt. It definitely wouldn't hurt.
Well, this person continues. I also thought it would be nice for a while to see someone with the same disabilities I have. Then again, I mostly lie on the couch all day. Used to be bad, but I'm a mom now. Congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, congratulations.
So, how entertaining would that be, really? I don't know.
Oh, no, carry on, mate.
You alright?
No, you're just reading it. No, with that saying, it's always funny. It's whenever I'd be like, what character would I introduce? I'm going to introduce me. And it's like, yeah, but I don't do anything. Yeah, but I'm going to do me. I'm the most interesting character. I sit all day at my computer and I make videos about EastEnders. So like, you know what? I think they'll manage without me. I think they'll be doing just fine. Anyway.
I don't know though. Maybe just a nice family. Maybe a nice normal family. Parents still together. No one cheats. The kids aren't traumatized, etc. Oh no.
I mean, before we get the issue with that, I can't lie, lads. The issue with that, nobody wants a nice normal family. No one does. No one. It's boring. Like, yeah, sure, it's nice to be there, but fucking all families have issues. That's where the storylines come on in. Like, there's supposed to be some tragedy within soaps. You're supposed to give a shit about the characters. You're not just going to be like, the Flanders just moved in. I've never heard them raise their fucking voice. Like, I don't know, man. I get it. I do understand, but I mean, no, I lie. It would be nice to happen. A family that does actually stick together. It would be a breath of fresh air. But the show writers would have to be a bit more. They have to be a bit smarter with their storylines.
Yeah, I highlighted this because I found it funny. More Tories. Oh yeah. Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the wave. England shall never, ever, ever shall be slaves. There you go, lads. Don't get me wrong, I'm a strong non-Tory. That's like me saying I'm non-binary. I just identify as non-Tory. It'll be nice with my wording there, but no one is really political. I mean, we know Nish probably votes Tory.
Ian's definitely a Tory.
He's a closeted Tory.
Absolute. No, he's open about being a Tory. Ian's one of the fucking. I bet Ian's one of the Brexit geezers. Who's like, all I'm saying is, you know what I mean? It's like, Ian. Yeah, he's
is he
bloody
fucking Danny Dyer?
You can't say anything anymore, can you? Like, fucking hell. But yeah, no, like I said, soaps are integral in showing people of different backgrounds. Some, like, even in the start of the show, you had Debbie and Andy, who they weren't necessarily Tories at the time, because, you know, it wasn't necessarily that thing, but they were the middle to upper class, living a good life, surrounded by a bunch of poor people. And they didn't really understand how to fit in, because they kind of stood out. But yeah, sure, fuck it, fine by me. Probably won't like the character, I can't lie. But it's good to tell these stories.
But who else? But Jesus. Also, we need more housing. Get some proper council estate flats in there. Mate, you're in fucking London, what do you expect? And some hippies who live in a camper van outside Beale's Eels. Ian will spend his morning shouting at them to move, and they never will. Or some more pets. Give Anna or one of them teenagers something to do and start a dog walking business. She has a dog.
Doesn't walk it. Tyson's forgotten half the time. You know how some people forget to put food in the dog bowl?
Yeah.
They just forget to put Tyson in on screen. Just at all. Oh yeah, shit, we had this dog. Oh, get Tyson out. Give him some food.
He costs too much. His salary as a paid actor is too much. It's a rough fee from what I heard. Thank you. So we start this off. This lovely person says, I say this every time. The question comes up, but I love to see Di
Zhang.
Sorry, thanks for not cancelling me there. To return with his family and bring some East Asian representation. To your point above about the caravan, have there ever been traveller families on EE? That could be interesting, even if they were just a temporary stint. Would also love to see some less stereotypical nor the virgin characters. An autistic woman would be great, played by an autistic actress. There's your time to shine.
There we are. Sign me up, boys. Sign me up. Yeah, I mean, first, I definitely think EastEnders don't really tend, from my memory, they don't tend to do East Asian families. So, I think it'll be a good thing. It'd be a good story to tell. I don't remember who the fuck Di Zhang is. Apparently he investigated the cafe fire and arrested Nish and Ravi last year. So, don't know who the fuck. Don't remember them. But yeah, sure. Bring in some East Asian representation. Or I like to believe that all the representation is generally good, as long as you're coming at it from the right angle.
I know they're saying bring in traveller families, but you do know that was the Taylors, lads.
Yeah, but you know they weren't. Well, I suppose there's a different. You know, some families do just travel around, I guess, and that's fine. They just stick around. They don't really I guess in comparison, the Taylors settled down into a house and just about managed to afford it. But I don't know. It's still, you could go a bit harder on it. And a neurodivergent character. Yeah, I guess you technically have Freddy with his ADHD, but that's not really been mentioned ever since. It's felt like they did that to explain why Freddy is the way he is. But even if they never got the diagnosis, Freddy would have been the same. And like, I don't. Is he on medication now? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. So, but yeah, bring in an autistic character. I know that Ollie Carter's autistic, but he's like 3 years old. Like, I think it'd be interesting to have. I suppose Reese, I'd argue, is quite autistic coded in a sense. Like, I guess. Did you see where I'm going with that? Like, he does feel like he's supposed to be, but it's unspoken.
I love how you've worded that. That is autistic code. Like there's a fucking code in the mainframe to make sure you're autistic.
Because they haven't addressed it, have they?
No. It's just the way you've made it. Whereas it seems like you're fucking made in a lab somewhere. Like you're in Clone High.
Time to smash into the mainframe. Time to whirly bird straight into that database.
I'm just imagining up in heaven.
Autism coded.
You know, like, do you have that debate?
But it is an actual term, right? You do know that. I'm not just making that shit up. It's an actual term that people use.
But I'm I'm just imagining up in heaven, like, so you have like God who, apparently makes the people. There's like, oh God, we've this person, we don't know what they want them to be. You have that code, don't you, Jeremy? Yeah. Give them the autistic
slap him
code.
with the autistic code. But
if I want to try,
I think that. I also think like there's a lot of good stories because first and foremost, you can have a kid who's autistic who doesn't fucking know, and they just kind of grow up not knowing that they're autistic, but then at a later age, they are still, I guess, peculiar as the word. I mean, I can fucking shit talk autistic people. I'm autistic myself. Come on, but like so I'm not saying they do me, but as someone who grew up not knowing that they were autistic and not knowing that it was a thing, it definitely shaped my life in different ways than it would have done had I have known and had my family have known, because I probably would have, I don't know, probably would have done different shit. Probably would have had more help, but it's like I don't, and some of the stuff I probably did to try and fit in probably didn't help. There was a lot of masking going on. Didn't really know who the fuck I was. Like, I think there's a lot of interesting stories there. I think there's an interesting story in having a autistic woman, and not. See, I don't think there's any like typical. There's no technical like DNA link with autism, but like fucking 3 of my family are confirmed to be autistic, and there's likely more. And maybe some nonsense where you have twins, and you have one a boy who is seen immediately, and they go, okay, he's autistic, and then the girl doesn't get the same treatment because historically, autism is a lot less seen with women and girls, and go through like the trials and tribulations of their life between a person who is getting that support early on versus the girl who is also clearly autistic, just in a slightly different way, and kind of show the hardships of both sides. Mate, I've absolutely noshed in a beautiful idea there. Fucking look at me go. I've got a brain. How long's this gone on for? I've been talking about that for about 10 minutes.
Hold on, let me just quickly check. Oh, we've been going for 18 minutes, Pat.
Fucking hell. We've only done one comment. Let's speedball it.
Okay, this guy chimes in. But there's that one Asian woman who has a stall on the market, but who never says anything. Maybe they could give her a speaking role for a change and introduce her family. Meow, meow, meow. I would love to see a teen girl with undiagnosed autism.
Yeah.
Go through the journey of discovering herself, as a lot of autistic girls don't get diagnosed as a young child like boys do.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Yeah, you don't have to go. I basically said everything you need to. Just show the different problems of growing up.
Okay, I have one here. Given how many Europeans live in the UK, it isn't a single one on the show. Not a single Polish person lives in Walford, or even Spanish. I assume.
Yeah.
For that matter.
Like, I can't lie. they really, for it being London, and don't get me wrong for saying this, London is very white in comparison to actual London, where you have people fucking moving from everywhere to be in London. It's the capital city. Like, it's like it feels like London. It would be like doing a show in Birmingham, but also everybody is like white or white passing. Like, it's just not how it works. That's not how London is. You have people from all different types of backgrounds. It's a very diverse place. Carry on.
That lady who works in manages the bookies is Eastern European, I think. She only makes occasional appearances.
Yeah, she was there when Rocky was gambling.
Yeah. Bravo, she seems to vanish. Okay, here we go. A young professional living in their car. The Asian doctor and his family. Some non-cheating, non-divorced couple who have other sorts of troubles. So then what's when he couldn't get it up? Family with a living...
but he was always cheating. Yes.
A family with living at home adult children in this economy. A single woman with no parent or partner or child watch. And not a spinster, someone outgoing that just doesn't want any commitment.
Like that, I can delve into that one, and that's probably be the last one we go into here. I mean, a family living at home as an adult, obviously that's Peter and Bobby. Like, they do still live at home at the Beals. I mean, the Knight sisters, they still live at home. Jay technically lives at home, even though I think that's his place. Like a lot of kids do, a lot of the adults do live with the parents. But I will say, with the current like fucking housing situation and the fucking cost of living, would be quite good to actually tell that story of like, I want to see someone want to aspire to do big things but not be able to just because there's no fucking room. Like, how do you break into the housing market? You know, you gotta have a fucking mega job that you might not even get. Like, I want. It's like everybody jokes about all the older people where it's like, oh, you know, oh, why don't you just get a job and you buy a house? And it's like, yeah, but Nan, know that you can't fucking buy a house anymore. The prices are fucking like 100% more than what they used to be. Yeah, well, I worked as... It's like Pete in the original stuff. Pete and Kathy are somehow, like, affluent and somehow have money. Pete fucking sells fruit and veg, for fuck's sake. How's he affording a house? They're supposed to be rich. They're supposed to be rich. He owns a fucking fruit and veg stall, for fuck's sake. There's a market stall and he's got a house. And Kathy works at the laundrette and a pub. Like, fuck me. But yeah, I think it'd be an interesting story to tell. Someone living on the breadline, struggling to get by, barely scraping through. And what was the other part of that comment? There was a one at the end that I could probably go into again.
A single woman with no partner or child wish, not a spinster, someone outgoing that just doesn't want any commitment.
I mean, yeah, exactly that as well. Some people, as we're gradually getting into, some people don't want commitment. Some people have someone who's asexual. Do that. Once again, autistic asexual, I'm here for the role. Here's my fucking CV. No, but like, you know, not everybody wants to settle down with someone. Some people just want some fun. That's it. I'm fucking focused on my job. I'm focused on my life. Like, obviously, it's harder because you may not be making as many of the connections, but just have to make some fucking core friends that they're friends with for life. Like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff they could do, and there's a lot of stuff I would like to see. And all things considered, most of the Reddit videos are us bitching about me bitching about the Reddit people having unreasonable opinions. But I can safely say that I like pretty much all the ideas that have been added. So yeah, there we are. That's all from me. If you want to finish out the video, and we can go home.
that was interesting to hear from my co-host, AquaDreams, Kinky Sexy Man. Don't know what that was.
Kinky.
Yeah, you can see where I left the comments. So I guess this is, without further ado, this has been another episode of We Read Reddit. This is where I kind of look like a radio host, where I'm hosting this. Kind of give up a radio vibe. Well, Ash just fucking sits there and says, well, Jerry, today in the news.
Yes.
Today in the news, Jerry, someone has died. Someone has fallen into Lego City. So yeah, I guess without further ado, we must bid you a goodbye, a good night, and a farewell. Bye bye. See you in the next one. Shabba.